Hello everyone, welcome back. It's time to get the readings for the month of March here. I want to remind everyone that this will be the equinox that's coming up during this month, and we will be switching out of winter into spring. Now, I often consider this to be the real start of the year, of the seasonal new year, when we are looking at the sparks of new life. Anything and everything that has been happening up until then has been the parts of winter's ending cycles and setting things up for this spring to come forward. So we're going to be looking at what this next, essentially new year in this place of the seasonal period holds for everyone. Let's go ahead and get the ancestors in. Alrighty, so we have thrown the bones down, and what we have with our dice is the seventh house. So this is this house of relationships, mutuality, and sharing. And what the Adinkra provide us is also the crossed swords, which represent a state ceremony, state authority, legality, legitimate rule, heroic deeds. Now, what that also says is we're looking at what are the legalities and the authorizations that come up in relationships. How are these aspects applying to the mutual aspects of how a relationship functions, even to the fact of how are they sharing. One way to look at this is that this month of March may see the start of new relationships, not start of new relationships, yes, but also that current relationships may now mature into a new level and a new understanding. It could even mean that there's going to be proposals, but there is just a stronger sense that what someone is committed to is going to have a greater impact and greater focus for where they're going in their lives. Though this also means, too, if we look on a broader world stage, is that it's going to be definitely some questions of authority, but also the aspect is, are some relationships about to shift? Because while the swords are brought together, they're also poised to strike out and take a life. Because when the swords are crossed, they're usually meant to protect and block. So are the swords blocking, or are they about to come apart to strike something down? So I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be some legal matters that come to a head or get started in this next month as well. Now, when we look at the bones themselves, the copper piece is here very much at the edge of the sheet. And I feel like Spirit is taking a moment back. And I think that's also because Spirit is gathering its energy for this start of spring as it pushes that energy out towards the burst of new life that's coming. This one is normally the home, but I'm also going to call it this relationship bone here. Right next to it is work. This one is social. So the work and social home bone are both intertwined here, which is supporting that standpoint about relationships and mutuality. That these are going to be very intertwined, that there is going to be something experienced in this next month that is going to be part of why the commitment is going to be seen as an option that someone's are willing to take right now. And with the quartz piece here, it's something that's going to be meaning that someone is going to be, one or both, are going to be really seriously looking at the relationship that's at play. How has it mutually served each other? How has it promoted greater sharing and connection? And that's a very big part because we've got the support bones here and the inspiration. In fact, we have the rib bone here under the relationship bone. And what this shows me is that there's something about support that's going to be very key about the elements that bring people together. So it's going to be a lot of reflecting about what is the relationship, why is this relationship coming together, and why would somebody be willing to make a deeper commitment to somebody? That's what's going to be at the center here, which is also supported here by the copper piece, or not, sorry, God, I've got the copper piece on my mind, don't I, tonight, by the shell, which is turned inward. So it's about that inner choice. And the reason someone would make a commitment choice to somebody else, or to even to a situation, has to come from the inner place. knowing that there are multiple purposes in life, some of which is to find that aspect of what our life purpose is, but there are purposes we fulfill with our connection to family and the boundaries there. So these are things that are going to be assessed, and there's a sort of parallel that goes between these two. Over here, as I said, this one is the social bone, and we've got, again, some more of the rib bone, so there's a lot of inspiration going on here, but there's also wishes going on here. And those wishes are ones that we're going to have to be taking a deeper look at, which is going into the relationship into many things, as well as how is that relationship influencing our sense of authority and the legality. I really do think we're going to be seeing someone who is going to spurn the sense of legality, but they're going to do it in such a way that it's ultimately going to show their hand and why we really need to stop listening to them. And I think that is supported here by the broken rib bone here that looks like the shiv or the knife next to the rib bone, or not, sorry, the spinal bone. So I think this is someone who others have often seen as being smart, but I don't think they're as smart as they're going to show, and they're going to basically show their stupidity. They're going to show just how dangerous they are and how much the path that is before them will also prove to be detrimental. And it's about looking at the relationship and the relationship that's being fostered in this aspect of intelligence and danger, this aspect of rationality that says that it's okay to destroy. Not because it's, when I say okay to destroy, not because it's actually time for something to end, let alone for something to begin, but just because they can't have it. Over here, we have one of the rib bone, we have the spinal bone and a tailbone, both of which are providing balance and support. And this is something that's waiting in the wings. This is actually something that is counter to this. And we have a choice to take this or these. And I'm going to say, go for these here. These are going to have much longer, both ramifications, but they're longer and best outcome. And it's going to take a trail, which is what we're sensing here with these other rib bones, or tailbones. Over here, that's for April. And that's going to be coming in. And there's going to be some new questions about what are we doing for balance and what are our inspirations. So there's going to be some changes in this next month, and it's going to be really about paying attention and understanding what are you willing to commit to, and how are you willing to be able to really look at what are the circumstances in the relationship. How is the relationship working or not working? How can the swords be used to block and protect and keep things from moving forward so they get destroyed? Or do the swords need to be used to destroy something else? And that thing that they're being used to destroy is about protecting others. Our relationship to others is at the core of so much of this, and how we commit to them. Ashe.